First, I'd like to thank Lisa Gray for writing this magnificent book on Without Precedent on John Robertson, a person that has been uh, over 20 years plus has been trying to destroy the landscape of our democracy. And he has been consistent in doing, although it does look like behind the scenes he's not doing too much, but he's doing way than too much, and he's making up a lot of shit as he go along. Um, I got this book out because there's some things I want to read out of it, especially when it comes to the chapter of power and what John Roberts has, how he's inserted his power. On page 281, the first thing in the first paragraph says John Roberts helped pave the way for Donald Trump to become the 47th president of the United States. So we know who's is basically out there pushing all of this narrative is John Roberts. And here we are again saying that the president should have absolute power. And who's behind it all? John Roberts. Next, it says a federal jury may have found Trump guilty of committing serious crimes, but Roberts used the nation's highest court to effectively pardon Trump, a power that the Supreme Court does not have under the Constitution. Roberts, once again, made up some bullshit, but that's not what her book says. That's me saying that. The Republicans' appointee on the Supreme Court also sent a message to American voters in the summer of 2024. Trump's Justice Department actions to prosecute him was illegitimate. Now, all the things that Trump has done, and Roberts pulled a rabbit out his ass and said, you know, we're going to give him complete immunity. Nothing that he does, nothing that he says is at fault here. And I want everybody to know that it is John Roberts. Remember John Roberts? Remember the Koch brothers? Remember Leonard Leo and the Federalist Society? This is pushing the narrative. And sitting here reading this book, it makes me feel like if this kind of power has been wielded by Roberts, is this the man behind the scene of the Epstein files? What do you think, Kenny?
Most definitely.
You think it's because uh, for some reason he has said that the files will not be released. Some people have said these files will never be seen. And you don't think the Supreme Court is behind this also?
They're behind it 100%. There's no allegedly about it.
There are there are so many things in this book, but I just wanted to go to the power section because that's what our country has been just sold out by power, money, and who's pushing it? Who has bent over and just gave their power to the Supreme Court? That was the Republicans and the GOP, right?
House and Senate.
Yeah, the House and Senate. And this is what they're saying in this case coming up that all the power should be given to the president. Hell, look what he's done with the power that he had. He screwed that up. And now we have war crimes. We have a nation, a world of people looking at how the United States is operating under the tune of John Roberts, because basically DJT is not the president of the United States. You have to think, is that Vogt, or is that Miller, or is it Roberts? It's a lot of people that's enabling uh, DJT's power. Because once he get the power, what happens? What happens? This is not a strong man at all. And the people behind him, uh, he's just a vessel. Everybody, just a vessel that everybody's using to enable their own agenda. Now, 44, I just want you to realize something. Sometimes we get a little sidetracked, and a lot has been thrown out there to basically throw us off track. But the bottom line is, I have always wanted to know where was those tapes? Who had them? Who's controlling who has a noose around America's neck. And from this book, John Roberts have constantly, even going into court now, basically made up all this shit just to get his agenda put forth. He walks around in his robe like, what did he say, an originalist? There's no such thing as an originalist. What he's basically saying is, here it is, 2025, and every damn thing changes. Everything changes. But he didn't want it to change. And so the New Deal would be with who? With the tech bros, to destroy the fabric of democracy and hand our freedom over to the richest people in the world that can do anything at any given time to anybody that was marginalized, immigrants or black, brown, and beige. And that's sad. He Roberts would have never had the votes if, and Alito has no integrity. When he was flying a flag upside down and his wife was running around playing the wicked bitch of the West along with this man's wife. I just hate mentioning his name. I get choked up every time I see this book, Created Equal. It's just too much for me. But if they had if Thomas and Alito had recruited himself, he wouldn't have had the votes for the immunity clause. And like I said, there's nothing in the Constitution that says that you can grant DJT immunity. But it happened. And it happened because there were so many people out there that's pushing the agenda of saying, we're rich and we can do whatever we want. We can do whatever we want. And it's really sad that they're in court now saying that we're gonna, GOP and Republicans, they're trying to fight now, but they've waited a hell of a long time, and so much damage has been done, and they need to get the balls, tenacity, and the guts to go in there and really fight because we've lost a lot of ground. And if anything, we should be protesting on the steps of the Supreme Court because Roberts is reckless. Roberts and his Sinister Six is absolutely reckless and feckless. If they think that they can get rid of, all the professional people and just say we got to listen to people that, don't have the expertise. When they took the Chevron decision out, Jesus, that was our air, the water we drink, the food we eat, regulations that the tech bros can come in and poison our food, poison our medicine, anything. That's all this is for them. The same rich and powerful people that is behind probably the Epstein case. And I'm not saying Marjorie Taylor Greene is, I'm not a personal backer of hers, but, for all the things that has happened, they need to get in there and fight like hell. And their party will never be respected or will never be the same because of everything that they back for ride or die with DJT. But once again, the landscape changing, the major landscape was basically Roberts, his courts, him not reining Trump in. But I guess he couldn't rein him in because he had been bought by Leonard Leo, by the Koch brothers, bought and sold by the Heritage Foundation. This is the most corrupt court in the land. And I don't think I could ever get over the fact of Amy Coney Barrett, what she did, because she brought back the coat hanger. That's right. And Amy, I hope you're looking, because if this all the health care that the women get, I wish you had been around in my time when this coat hanger caused a lot of deaths. So I guess I'm seeing red tonight, really seriously. But when I think about it, I just, in my heart, want people to really read and find information, because when you find that information, it is definitely hard for people to get in your ear and tell you, that what the Roberts courts what the Heritage Foundation, what Vote, what Miller, because I'm not including DJT because he doesn't have the mind to come up with these plans. If you ask somebody today, who is the President of the United States? Who is it? Because from after reading this book and many more books, he's not running this country. He's not running this country at all. And I hope that the 31 uh, countries, our allies, I hope they can. It's kind of hard to stand by us with DJT running, doing what he does least. I'll just put it that way. But I came back on here because it's quite disturbing seeing the Roberts Court just totally out of control, totally bought and sold. Every time they uncover something, it's like sold to the Saudis, sold to Russia, sold to Qatar, you know. And I was kind of wondering, why isn't the courts not pushing back for this airplane, the emolument clause? Because who's behind all this? Justice John Roberts and his band of people that has enabled DJT. Now, I have said many times on several occasions, I would not come up here without a book because people want to challenge you. And I think it was on Cheryl Hunter's show. She said, quote, uh, if you can't quote or show a receipt on the information that you're giving, then don't speak it. And I know that I do spend a lot of time reading and looking for information that could make me when I have days of being down, and we all have those days, um, for hope. And there is hope because uh, the way it's going now, the people have power also. It may feel like we may not have power, but we do have power. And that's what they want you to feel, that everything is controlled by the most powerful people in the world, that they can push back and do anything that they want, that our courts uh, are is right along in that bracket. But you got to understand that these are the most dirtiest people in the world. They're the most dirtiest. And it won't be like this all the time. It won't. And I just don't want anyone to give up. And one of the ways of not giving up is to be well informed and to make sure that you're getting information off of not the uh, media, the media that's available to today, but to go to independent media because they're pushing out a lot of information. They're, suggesting books. And I suggest that you all get over there and hang tough with them. And once again, I'd like to thank Midas Touch for bringing Lisa Graves on. And uh, I had to get her book. And I don't want to misquote it because I think it was I think it was Midas Touch or Legal AF. But that whole network is absolutely phenomenal. I really appreciate all that they've taught, and I will continue to learn. For us, Justice John Roberts and his agenda for years to take our democracy down. Because once going into that court, it's not just the agencies that he's trying to hand over the power and just say that independent agencies don't have the right to make these decisions for their agency. Hell, they don't have the expertise to make the decisions. Also, you know, so they want absolute total control. They don't. They want people that are not intelligent, people that's not looking at this information. And what is Roberts doing in his black robe? Making up a bunch of shit because that's what he's good at. Sitting back, not taking the reins, putting Thomas in check for taking all the money from the people that he's taken from. Uh, Riding Alito for taking, you know, having a flag, riding, having that flag upside down, knowing that he has no integrity, that he should have recused himself. But no, this is all about their power and their covering up. And I strongly feel that whatever decision that is made, I want the world to know that Robert was front and center in and his Sinister Six game, front and center for as destroying our democracy. Their New Deal, once again, is a deal with money, greed, power, and the oligarchs. That's what their deal is. It is not for us to have the freedom to speak out or the freedom to be intelligent and make our decisions. I think it might have been Sotomayor had recently said that. So the lawyer for DJT, you're going to give DJT all this power to what? To what? To destroy America. Because that's what's going to happen. You saw what he did with the power that he had. And now, what do we have? We have Hexes, Gnomes, everybody in court, Patel, Cash Patel, all these people who are just unintelligent, very unintelligent. And our country is in danger, under this regime. And I just want people out there to know that if they're looking for answers, here's a lot of answers in this book. And while he sit there and make up more shit and claim that he's, as he say, throwing in those questions, and the questions is not the regular language of the courts, and he's just pulling a rabbit out his ass, then once those questions are answered, then they'll make up more shit and just make it look like this is legitimate. Because once again, there was nothing in the Constitution to give DJT immunity, and Roberts did that. There's nothing in the Constitution that Roberts have done so far, because he pick and choose what they want. Of course, you can see I'm not a fan of Roberts and the Sinister Six. No, I'm not. I'm not a fan of the Heritage Society. Not a fan of any of these people. Leonard Leo, this was his dream. And what is Roberts doing? Fulfilling the dream of Project 2025. He's a big part of this. And a lot of people may not know that. There is nothing that ranks supreme about this court except for maybe the three young justices that are fighting. And the lower courts have been, and I don't like to say the lower courts, they have been the guardrails. The federal and the trial courts, they have held the fort down. But I hope that we've learned a lesson, a valuable lesson. And we too have to take responsibility, the margin of people that voted for DJT, because there's no way that you can vote in somebody that's a felon and don't think he's not going to commit a crime. There's no way that you can vote in a pedophile and don't think that they can go back and, mess with kids or adults. There's absolutely no way. And so everything that's taking shape right now, Roberts, this is what he's been waiting for years. And so I won't be surprised how this decision goes, because he's done everything, and this will be the next worst decision other than the decision that was with Gore and Bush. When that came down, that was horrible, but that has been his mark. That is what he has done to make our world a hell, because he wants to live in the past and put uh, the tech bros up there that has broke everything, that doesn't understand how everyday people live because they have money and they don't care, and they think that they can oust everybody. Not, we have no use to the tech bros because, like I said, Bernie has said several times, they're taking out thousands and thousands of jobs. And one thing, dark money has been the problem for many years. Dark money, because that links the GOP and the Republicans, also Democrats, to dark money. If we can keep that dark money out of our elections, we probably can go a lot further. But the bottom line on this is, look to Roberts for the majority of the damage. He's in there now making up shit. That's right. He's in there now being destructive, uh, waiting for uh, to waiting to take us out, waiting to take all our voting rights. He approved a lot of Trump's uh, a lot of the things that Trump had done wrong, just to make it look like we had wins. But this whole deal is a deal for the billionaires, the tech bros, money. You know, money rules in this case, power rules in this case. And a bunch of lies. But just sitting here thinking about this, and I, like I said, I do a lot of reading, and I'm not coming up here just to bullshit you. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for facts, and I will continue to learn because there's so many people to learn from. And once again, I hope that many people go out and get Lisa Graves' book. It's a magnificent book, and I've highlighted, went back, I messed my book up, highlighted, went back and read a lot of the book, and it's absolutely amazing. It sends chills up my spine when I get to the police department, or when they talk about George Floyd, or it's just so much in here. It's so much, and this is a way to learn what has happened in our country. It didn't just start yesterday. It has started many years ago. And John Robert is leading the pack. That's what he's doing. He is leading the pack. So if he want to walk across there and act like he has nothing, or he's not informed, he knew all the time that Thomas' wife was involved. He knew all the time Alito's wife was flying a flag upside down. And he just, like, what, give a blind eye? But he wanted those votes. He wanted those votes. And he did everything that he could to get those votes. To do something that the Constitution has said that can't be done. So, on that note, the last time I was up here and I was talking about Trump going to sleep, I thought I was going to pass out too, but it's been a lot for everybody. It's been a stressor. But whatever you do, do not give up. Do not give up hope. Continue to read. Continue to watch the independent channels, the truth tellers, because there's a lot of them out there. And I would stay away from the mainstream media because they're being taken over by a lot of powerful people, and uh, they want you to hear their side, nothing else. So you can't trust them. You can't. So in the meantime, I'm going to get off of here and I'm going to go read some more. And I appreciate you all uh, coming and listening. And once again, remember Justice John Roberts' name. Remember Leonard Leo's name. Remember the Heritage Foundation. And remember the Koch brothers. And that might have been the people that's been running the country all the time. So on that note, I'm out. Well, one more thing. Keep watching. Keep watching John Roberts. Don't take your eyes off of him, because if he's controlling everything that has happened up until this point, then I personally feel that he has something to do with the Epstein files also. So just keep watching. It'll come out. It'll all come out in the watch. So on that note, I'm out.